Today we're going to be talking about trainers, consultants, coaches, and HR into the metaverse. Dun dun dun! So, what does the metaverse have to do with, well, training, coaching, consulting, and, well, ultimately making things happen in an organization? Well, first of all, it's a lot more than having events. I mean, right now, the whole metaverse thing, maybe you've gone to a metaverse event and you get to have a little avatar and you get to sit down and listen to people, but kind of the same thing as Zoom, except that you kind of look like a cartoon, right? I mean, that's not really the potential of what we're dealing with when you're talking about the metaverse and NFTs and blockchain and all of this new technology that ultimately is going to affect the future of learning and development. So let's look at a few ideas that the metaverse will be able to support. First of all, let's look at the traditional way that, well, an HR person or training manager or department head is going to find a solution to a problem or find someone that can help them solve a problem. So the first thing they're going to do is look around to maybe other companies they know, other departments, who did you hire, what happened, yada, yada, yada. And you will get basically the feedback of a colleague or potentially a friend. Now, of course, that has completely limited you to the experience and judgment of that colleague or friend. Even if they've gotten a good result, good defined by what standard is really the question, right? So, for example, because we do a lot of these culture programs, right? And a lot of times people think that, oh, in order to do a culture initiative, you need to have at least a year, possibly two, in order to make it roll out and do all this stuff. And honestly, come on, guys, people aren't that patient. If you're taking that long, number one, you're spending a lot of extra money. But you know, that's kind of the standard, and that's what people kind of expect. And since they don't know anything different, that's what the standard becomes. So there is limited discovery with that strategy. Now then, of course, there's this search engine, Google, or maybe Yahoo or Bing if you're kind of one of those extra people, right? And that gives you a defined set of ads first, because you got the Google ads that come up first, and then you get all the other natural search engine results. Now, let's look at what most of those natural search engine results will give you. Ultimately, they're going to give you organizations that have been around for a long time, and they've built up a lot of links and have built up a lot of credibility, and not necessarily have innovated with the latest stuff, because, you know, like sometimes you've got something that worked 20 years ago, and you know, if it's not broken, why change it, right? And so people keep buying it, so don't change it. So you're not necessarily finding the latest, newest ideas. So this ultimately creates a problem for the person who is making a decision or needs to solve a problem in discovering the latest and ultimately newest ideas in problem solving in today's post-pandemic world. Okay, so that means that the current systems of finding these people, finding the providers, are ultimately, well, flawed. And if you are a provider, well, that means that your chances of getting noticed are based on all of your LinkedIn stuff, and maybe somebody's gonna see it and somebody's gonna think, wow, that's a really good idea. Or maybe it's like sales or something. So it's a lot of extra work just to get noticed, because there's a lot of people doing the same thing out there. Okay, so enter the metaverse. Now see, the metaverse as a technology allows a very different user experience in finding, and for that matter, even highlighting different things, right? So for example, we are working on the Global Mentors Exchange using the Galileo Metaverse platform, which we also developed. Right now, this metaverse is specifically designed for learning and development. That's it. Nothing else, okay? So we've got Wisdom City only learning and development. So that means that anybody that goes to Wisdom City, they must be essentially either a trainer, coach, consultant, or looking for a trainer, coach, consultant, okay? And it can be anything. I mean, people can be teaching yoga or wellness or drum beating, team things, or culture change, or leadership, okay? So, but all of this experience, first of all, has to be easy to use. Otherwise, the whole metaverse thing is so complicated and nobody wants that, right? So what you got is you start in the library. And so inside of the library, well, what do you have? Well, you have categories, main categories. Let's say, for example, you've got management. And then under management, one of the categories would be leadership. So under leadership, you've got different kinds of leadership: leading change, leading teams, and other kinds of types of leadership categories, subcategories. So then it's very easy to choose what you want. So if you want the overall view of everything that's out there, you click on leadership and suddenly you're transported to the leadership mall. Okay, and so there's different types of shops that literally you can see and browse just like going shopping in a real mall. But the difference is now you have visual representations of different ideas, different things, 15-second videos, and more importantly, you have artificial intelligence shopkeepers that you can ask questions to. And so all of this ultimately is going to change the way that, well, both consumers and providers are going to be marketing and showing what they can really do. Because when you are an HR person or a training manager and you want to get some really good stuff for your organization, or maybe you're an individual and you want to learn the best ways to build wealth, okay, it doesn't matter, because ultimately anything that requires learning, development, coaching, anything like that is going to be able to be visible as you would be walking through a mall, and you get to see things that catch your eye, not just what the Google algorithm presents to you. And so now that gives you an opportunity to, well, basically it gives providers that have real innovations an opportunity to show their innovations. And it gives the consumers, the people that are going to get training, consulting, coaching, learning, whatever, okay? It gives them an opportunity to really get a variety and an understanding to discover new ideas. So join us in the metaverse. We'll be launching that pretty soon, and we'll keep you in the loop. And if you want to learn more about becoming a part of the metaverse as a provider, or even for that matter, owning a shop in the metaverse, let us know in the comments below and we'll get back to you. This is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.